How is your bucket looking these days? Hey everyone, I'm Pat Laurie with the National Speakers Association, and I'm asking you about your bucket because I'm actually taking things out of my bucket because I'm fulfilling things on my bucket list. Like, for example, this year I went to Thailand, and that was something that I'd always wanted to do. I wrote a book. That's something I wanted to do. So I'm checking things off. And I know that right now we're getting ready for the holidays, but you know what? The end of the year is approaching. And in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about ways that I can move forward with my professional goals and dreams. And if you're like me, you might have the goal one day to be on the TEDx stage. Can you imagine giving a speech, telling your story in front of hopefully tens of thousands, maybe millions of people? That has exactly what happened to my guest who is joining me now. He's Brian Miller, and he is a TEDx expert. And Brian, thanks so much for being here today to talk about TEDx and how we can get to the stage. You're going to be appearing at NSA in just a couple weeks, January 12th. Welcome.
Yes, January is in just a couple of weeks. That snuck up on me, Pat. Yes, you said couple of weeks. I was like, I thought that was in 2023. Oh no, that's in a couple of weeks. Yeah, that's that's very soon. I'm excited.
Now, it's really interesting because Brian, you gave your TEDx speech in 2015,
hmm
and it was run by high school students. It was at a high school,
hmm
yet your speech went viral and you had
hmm
over 3.5 million people watch it now. That's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
It was totally unexpected. I was a full-time magician still. That was my first career. I did 10, 12 years of being a full-time magician. And at that point, what we were hoping for when I gave that speech, my manager, I have I have a manager as an entertainment, in entertainment. My manager and I were hoping it would get 10,000 views. That was our dream. That was our pipe dream, was 10,000 views. And we were like, if it gets 10,000 views, I can probably increase my rates as a corporate entertainer by like $500. Like the pipe dream was like, can I go from $1,000 to $1,500 as a corporate magician? So when it did, I think it was like 100,000 views in month one, a million views in 6 months, 2 million in the first year. When it did that, and this was early days, or early-ish days of YouTube. It's not like today. Today, 3 million views actually doesn't sound like a lot, but in 2015, it was like the whole world saw that talk, and it pulled me into a career in speaking. I never wanted to be a speaker. It yanked me into a career as a speaker, and it's been nuts ever since.
That is incredible. I mean, what do you attribute that to? And were you surprised that that
I
happened?
mean, yeah, I was completely surprised it happened. It's always easy. I mean, what did Steve Jobs say? It's easy to connect the dots looking backwards, right? You look backwards at it and you put it at the moment in time. What we didn't know when I gave that talk in 2015, which was about human connection, it was called How to Magically Connect with Anyone. I was taking what I had learned as a magician and about taking on perspectives that are different from your own. And I was showing how anybody, personally or professionally, could use the same tool of perspective taking that magicians use to make better, more meaningful connections in your life. Now, take that topic, place it in 2015, knowing what was about to happen in the world. It was right before the world took a very strange left turn into this divisive, distracted culture that we now live in. So I gave a talk on a topic that just happened to be the right topic for the right time that I couldn't have known about. Also, I was a fedora wearing magician in a suit with a goatee in the thumbnail. I mean, that's weird. What's this guy doing talking? So there's intrigue to it. The title, How to Magically Connect with Anyone, if you run that through, title or headline analyzers today, it's through the roof. I didn't use a headline analyzer back then. It's just that my wife came up with the title. She was my fiance at the time. So a lot of luck built on a foundation of having a really solid idea. That's what I attribute it to.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And Brian,
Yeah.
you have taken, and what you're going to do is take all of your knowledge and you're going to bring it to the NSA Connecticut chapter
Mhm.
on January 12th. And
Yeah.
you are going to teach people who are interested in getting involved in a TEDx talk what they need to know. I mean, what are we going to learn in this couple of hour period?
Yeah. So since then, I had started getting asked to, one person at a time, hey, can you coach me on my TEDx talk? I remember thinking, I'm not a speaker coach. I'm just a magician who got lucky. But I would say yes and do it. And then they went off and did a viral talk. And I said yes again. And they went off and blew up their career. And so I ended up building an entire consulting firm that does this. It's called Conquer the Red Dot. And we have streamlined this and made it a science. I mean, we have giving TED Talks down to a science. So basically, we do the science, you do the art. And that's basically how we work. So the three main things that I'm going to be sharing with NSA Connecticut: first, the 5 reasons that almost all TEDx applications are rejected. I'm going to give you those 5 reasons. You can't find this on Google. It's not out there. Organizers are not telling you this stuff, but we know the 5 main reasons that TEDx applications are rejected, and tell you what they are, how to avoid them, so that at the very least, you don't immediately get thrown out into the discard pile. Second, the most important thing I think for so many of my clients is to understand what an idea actually is. It sounds dumb, but most people have no idea what an idea is. It's not a topic, it's not a story, it's not an issue, it's not a speaker. What is an idea? Because TED is about ideas worth spreading. That's what they're looking for. So we're going to talk about ideas. And then finally, I'm going to give you an actual formula, the same formula I use in all my paid programs. I'm going to give you the same formula that you're going to use to craft your 1-sentence idea worth spreading, where in a single sentence, you can say what your idea is, who it's for, and why it matters. That level of clarity is the first step to getting into the TED world. And honestly, it's the first step to successful businesses too.
I absolutely agree with you. And, I'm sure that it takes a lot of hours, why that you're going to want to get into a TEDx talk.
Yeah.
How long, of a commitment is this? Because you have to
Yeah.
memorize
Yeah.
the talk, right?
Yeah, so there's so many things. So the standard answer I give to people when I meet them on a discovery call, if they're at the stage of I think I want to give a TEDx talk, if they're at that point, I say from this conversation you're looking at 9 to 15 months and 200 hours of your life. That is what I typically, and that's for lots of reasons. One, it's going to take us months to nail your idea, to find your story, learn how to tell your story, build an argument, all the things we need to do before you even start applying. Then it could take months of applications. When you finally get accepted into one, it could be 3-4 months before the actual conference happens. And then after you give the talk, it could be 3-4-5 months before the video hits YouTube. So it's a long play. This is setting you up for a career. It's not a short term. People think if I give a TEDx talk, my income will explode in 6 weeks. That is not what this is. This is building the foundation on which that you can build an entire career in thought leadership, especially if you're a speaker, coach, consultant, author, or something like that.
Wow, that sounds like a lot more time than I even spent writing my book. But we're going to learn a lot
Yeah.
about this coming up in January on the 12th. And I cannot wait to hear about all the ins and outs and all the secrets and the tricks that you've learned. And,
Yeah.
it's just going to be an incredible evening. So thank you so much for joining me, Brian Miller. And I might even bring my juggling balls because when I see you, I would like you to teach me step 3 of juggling. My
I,
son taught me step 1 and step 2, and I'm stuck.
I got to tell you, I'm hoping that maybe your son can teach me because I was a magician and not a juggler, and I never crossed into that world. We, in the entertainment world, we silo magician, juggler, mime, comedian, mind reader. I
Oh
just
my
did magic
gosh.
tricks. I can find your card all day long.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thanks for the chuckle.
Sure.
Happy holidays. We'll see you in January.
Thanks, Pat. See you soon.
Thank you. And if you want to be amongst a very special group of people, please sign up at nsact.org for this seminar on how to conquer the TEDx stage. Get with your bucket list items because now is the